All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to Red Bull Ring.
This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League GT3 Series visits Red Bull Ring for a 60-minute race. It's race number 3 of the season. Red Bull Ring is a very fun track, man. It's going to favor the drivers who could go balls out. Who's got what it takes to bring home the victory in race number 3? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's watch it right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, we got a great race for you here in the GT3 Series today at Red Bull Ring. A very fun track, and it's going to be a very fun broadcast. Hang on, boys and girls. Let's get this party started. All right. Hey, thank you for coming in and joining us on TurnLeftTV, whether you're joining us live or on replay. Appreciate you being here today. We are at Red Bull Ring. Great track in Austria. Right now in the qualification session. And again, thanks for coming in here. 60-minute race, race number 3. I'm your broadcaster, commentator, Heath Johnson, owner of HORL and TurnLeftTV. Going to be a fun one. Always is here in the GT3 Series. Today's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. No matter where you are in the world, we can find a server in your local area. WordPress hosting, online store hosting, VPS hosting, and shared web hosting also available. And that's who provides our services here at highoctaneracing.net, as well as our servers that we race on. And fun too, man. Rock solid servers and great technical service here for the website as well. My web authoring skills are not great, obviously, but you can join us on go to the website, join us on Discord using the quick link there, and also you get updates on point standings and who's running out through the week, and a quick link to TurnLeftTV. Red Bull Ring is race number 3 of the season, so we are getting to that halfway point. Next week, or excuse me, in 2 weeks, will be Zandvoort. Great track. You see Interlagos on March the 25th. Portland International, April 8th. And then we're doing a redo at Daytona on April the 22nd. We had a little bit of problem with the cut track rules and so forth. So we're going to give everybody an opportunity to run that event again. Right now, it looks like Nikolai Bezhikov is the top time in the Ferrari. 128.054. That is lightning fast, man. Get out on the track. I think my lowest was 133. That's why I'm in the broadcast booth. Right now, 15 drivers. I would suggest to you that we might have more join after quals. Take a look at Georgi Aratunian. He is currently 6th on the grid. Target time of 128.054. He's 51 car in the Ferrari. Right now his best lap is a 128.986. A little bit off the pace there in sectors 1 and 2. Coming down pit lane. So he said, I've had enough, man. Let's get on to pit lane. Thanks for coming in and joining me on TurnLeftTV, man. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as smashing the bell. Somebody teased me about using the term smashing the bell. Hey, why not, man? My kids do it. They do it at school. Smash the bell. Also, if you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeftTV, there's a link up in the banner of the channel straight to PayPal. You can also contact us via Twitter, Facebook, and join our Discord by using those links at the top. Please click on the links in the description of this race and help me out there. Follow us over to the Sim Lab website and help me out. If you'd like to purchase a sim rig through him or any racing equipment, please use my link. And then also you can share my videos with all of your friends on any social media platform where you can share YouTube videos. You can share mine. TurnLeftTV. Take a look at that. Mata Indica is in the Aston Martin right now, 5th on the grid. 128.328 is his top time. Saturday Night Thunder coming up just a little while, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to be at a very fun track, man. Atlanta Motor Speedway is an awesome track, and these 2018 mod, a lot of fun on this track. So come on out and join us. 110 lap race, race number 8, and it's Atlanta. Mata came out early today and started practicing, so he might have the winning formula here tonight. We got Mata at the wheel. That concentration. Season standings coming into tonight's race after 2 races. Ritsky Dovar just a 1-point lead over Roman Ryaptsev. I don't see Roman out here today either, so he's going to take a little bit of a hit in the points, I think. Vadim Politz, of course, we still have warm-up to go. Vadim Politz sits 3rd. tie for fourth between Mata and Yuta for the Team Psychos E-Racing squad. Dan Richter sits sixth, Will Dunbar seventh, Berto Cristianto is eighth, Sergei Orlov is ninth, Dmitry Belevin is in the 10th position. Take a look at 11 through 20. Gerasimov with a big win, race number one. And now looking to bounce back here from a missed race. Look at Dmitry Belevin right now, fourth on the grid here in quals. 127.936 is the time to beat. Dmitry right now at a 128.200. Now fifth on the grid as Arthur Vieta climbs to the top there in that Corvette. How about that? Arthur Vieta coming out here and proving again that he can just drive anything. Great stock car driver and also a great road course racer as well. I should know, I've raced with him. Or been beaten up by him, that's probably more the case. So it looks like quals have ended. Let's go through the drivers' meeting. And again, thanks for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. Let's get this party started. All right, welcome back. Well, tonight is Red Bull Ring. Great track and a great race headed your way. Let's take a look at the track here at Red Bull Ring, located in Spielberg, Austria. And a 4.3 kilometer track, 2.683 miles, 10 turns, high speed. I mean, it doesn't look that, but you got a couple really long straightaways, I guess 3 long straights, and some really tight turns. But man, the turns, even though they're tight, I tell you, you could really be brave. So fun track, and I like Red Bull Ring. One of my, I'd say, top 5 road courses, maybe. Certainly close, if it's not in the top 5. And again, I'm Heath Johnson, your broadcaster and commentator. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Let me know how I'm doing. And then hold on to your horses. This is going to be fun here at Red Bull Ring today. And it's race number 3 of the season. Congratulations to Ed Palumbo on getting the win in the High Octane Racing League Bushwhacker Series at the Busted Knuckles 125 last night. Won a $25 gift card. Also, congratulations to Fedorov for winning, and also Givaldo won in the random draw as well. 2 $25 gift cards given out there. Kansas Speedway coming up next week. It's race number 9, just 2 races to go in that series. And racing will start at 9 p.m. on Friday, March the 3rd. A 100-lap race. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, get your picks in now, man. I think we're going to have 16 drivers by the time somebody's, I believe, coming back in, maybe. Get 16 in there for a moment. It's Novar, I believe. Looks like he'll be coming back in. Well, get your picks in, man. I tell you what, I'm going contrarian right here. I'm going contrarian. I know it said this guy could drive anything, and he's going to prove it to all of us today, and he is my pick to win this race. That is Artur Vieira. Artur Vieira going, I think he's going to win this race, man. He's not the fastest, but he is up there, and I think he likes this track. So excited to see Artur Vieira out here and maybe bringing home the victory. Got about 3.5 minutes left in the warm-up session. A lot of Corvettes out here, man. American muscle car.
Bet Bezrikov's not in a Corvette.
He's not going to be in a Corvette, is he? What's he in? In the garage. Oh, man.
What do you think? Bezrikov is in the Ferrari.
No, he's in the BMW. So there you go. Faithful BMW. That's going to be a fast one, too. Preston Hassel out on the track, and he is in a BMW. So I'm picking Archie Vetter to win this race today.
I don't care what you say.
Hey, what are the keys to the race here at Red Bull Ring? Race the track. I'm telling you, man, this thing is fast. And but it will reach out and bite you in some of these really sharp turns. I think the double left-hander right there can be a little challenging because it's a fine line on speed, quite a bit of speed through those compared to some of those hairpins, obviously, and making sure you're not getting off into the grass on the right-hand side. And then, of course, the last two turns, this one and the final turn, are areas where you can really make up some time if you can navigate through those turns. Braking zones, make sure you hit the braking zones and use the curbs, man. Use the sausage. Manage your grip. Save those tires and be fearless. This track requires that you be fearless. That is for sure. Well, we'll take a look at the qualification results and thus the starting order. Zakharov qualifies in P1, Vieta second. Gerasimov and Bezrikov, row 2. Belavin and Abdurrahman, row 3. Ritsky Novar and Berto Cristiano make up row 4. Mata and Dika and Iqbal Kurdiawan, row number 5. Row 6 would be Georgi Aratunian and Adi Sathya. Will Dunbar, Preston Hassel starting at 13th and 14th. John Stanley 15th. And we do have a 16th driver as well, and I think that's Ritsky Novar, maybe?
Somebody out there is going to be 16th, that's for sure.
Saturday Showdown Series in this time slot will be back next week for an absolute punch in the face. That's Bristol Motor Speedway, 200 laps. You're going to be worn out after this race. Race number 2 of the season. And racing will start at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right, Bristol. We went from Daytona 2 weeks ago and now, or last week, and then Bristol coming up next week. Could not ask for 2 more different tracks and 2 more popular tracks as well in stock cars. That's coming up in the Showdown Series on March the 4th. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, boys and girls, we're ready. Strap in.
Get those belts on tight.
Hold on to the wheel because we are ready. Going to be a fun one. 60 minutes here at Red Bull Ring. I'm your host, Heath Johnson. And let's take a look at the grid. Alexander Zakharov qualifies in P1. Artur Vieta qualifies second. Nikolai Gerasimov third. Bezrikov is 4th. Dmitry Belavin starts in the 5th position. Rizal Abdurrahman starts 6th. Ritsky Novar starts in the 7th position. Berto Cristiano will start 8th. Starting in the 9th position will be Mata Indika in the Aston Martin. Iqbal Kurdiawan in the Corvette starts 10th. Giorgio Armatuni in the Ferrari starts in the 11th position. Adi Sathya in the McLaren starts in P12. Starting in the 13th is the Porsche of Will Dunbar. Preston Hassel starts 14th. John Stanley 15th, and Gordon Carter starts in the 16th position. So a 60-minute race here at Red Bull Ring. And this baby is going to be fast and furious. Zakharov, our pole setter in the BMW, will lead the field to take the green flag. Vieira in the Corvette, second, outside pole. Gerasimov and Bezrikov. Oh my gosh, look at the strength we got up there in that top 5. Abdurrahman, Novar, Chris Atianto, Indika, and Kurdiawan. A lot of Psycho E-Racing boys up there in that top 10. So high speed, getting after it here, boys. What's the strategy? The strategy, I think, will be to save tires, but maintain track position, race this track, use the curbs, of course. Make sure you manage your braking zones, and be fearless here today at Red Bull Ring. We take a look at Alexander Zakharov in the BMW. All right, boys, here we go. Here we go. Hang on. "60 minutes from Red Bull Ring. Austria is rocking today in the Bushwhackers, or in the GT3 series. The Bushwhackers too, frankly. Late. Here we go. Boy, they waited until the last second on that one. Board here with Alexander Zakharov, our leader. Vieira is in the 2nd position. Vieira now has a lot of company with Nikolai Bezrikov. On board here with P2, Artur Vieira. Zakharov, the leader. Take a look at Mata Indika and Adi Sathya. Sathya had given up that spot there to Mata just a few seconds ago. We'll take a look at the pass here as Mata getting by the McLaren. Working on this bottom side and getting by that McLaren and taking that position. So Adi Sathya now falling back to the 9th position as Mata works his way up to P8. Ritsky Novar now making a pass here on Gerasimov. There was trouble. Now we got a good battle here. As Novar tried to make that pass. And take a look right there at Gerasimov having to concede that spot. Mata looking now to get by, but we had a trouble there in the back. Again, we'll take a look here. As it looks like, oh, right there. Oh, a little bit of a punt. Chris Atiato in the 15th car into the wall. Wow. Missed a braking zone right there. See right here, Gerasimov right there, a little bit of a punt to Chris Atiato, and Chris Atiato in the wall. Holy smokes, man. Which is on board here with Ritsky Novar as, oh man, right there, Chris Atiato, hard front end contact. He missed a shift there as he was trying to get through. Back to live here as we take a look at Nikolai Beshikov and Artur Vieira, a little BMW versus Corvette. And the BMW gets by, so Beshikov by Artur Vieira. Vieira now back to the 3rd position. Bechikov using that overrun area there. See Will Dunbar now getting by Chris Atiato. And actually, Chris Atiato getting by Will Dunbar there. And so Chris Atiato in that 15 car trying to rebound. And he gets by Will Dunbar. Dunbar now back to the 13th position. Dunbar now getting by Kurti Awen as Kurti Awen's come off track. Kurti Awen in a 77 car is off track. And he's in the pit entrance area in the grass. So Kurti Awen coming off track into the pits. Maybe he was trying to come down pit lane, not sure. Let's take a look here. Kurti Awen right here. Oh, he just gets a little bit too much. Boy, he's starting to come around on him. He got him the inside in the grass, and then now you might as well just make a pit stop. The 77 car off pace here. Look at John Stanley and Gordon Carter. Gordon Carter in the Corvette. John Stanley, the Aston Martin, getting by and getting that position on Gordon Carter, but they're still fighting it out. John Stanley, I think, is going to have the preferred line as they race down into the hard right-hander. Or I should say race up into the hard right-hander. John Stanley gets this spot, as you see Gordon Carter now falling back to the 15th position. Well, Alexander Zakharov in the BMW is our race leader. Bezrikov is in second, Vieira third, Abdurrahman running in the fourth position. Dmitry Belevin is in fifth. Take a look at Rizal Abdurrahman in the Corvette. Good 1v1 battle right there between Abdurrahman and Belevin. Belevin in the Ferrari. See, about a half a second separate the two of those guys. Little Corvette versus Ferrari. Georgi Aratunian has lost his connection, I believe. I'm not sure what happened to Aratunian. Maybe he had a crash. No, he lost his connection. What a tough break there for Aratunian. He was having a good day as well. He was running up in the 13th spot. Take a look at Dmitry Belevin here in the Ferrari, and he is working on the back of Abdurrahman. He's not letting him get away. On board here with P5. Really a pretty tight battle, I would say. You don't have a whole heck of a lot of space separating the top 5. Maybe Zakharov starting to open up about a 2.5 second lead over P1, but still got each other in sight. Take a look at John Stanley here now trying to close in on Preston Hassel. Hassel in the BMW just ahead. John Stanley in the Aston Martin. Whipping up on a couple guys here today. Just got by Gordon Carter, who's back about 7/10 in that Corvette. Running in the 14th position. John Stanley currently 13th. And Preston Hassel is leading that trilogy right there in the 12th position. Will Dunbar in the Porsche 88 car, Extra Life sponsored machine. Good looking paint scheme. He is running in the 11th position. Right now about 4.5 seconds off P10, Berto Crisatianto. But here having a pretty solid day. Remember, we got pit stops to go. So in the top 10 is Will Dunbar. Adi Sathia in the McLaren, running in P9. About 2 seconds behind the 8th place car, Armada Indica. Take a look at him, Berto Crisatianto into 15. Remember, he had some contact earlier. Oh, no! Crisatianto hard into the wall. Berto Crisatianto hard contact with the wall. And more contact for Crisatianto. So a tough lick there for him. Let's take a look and see what happened. Crisatianto, he just came off, got into the curb, lost the back end of this car, and the thing's just going to, he can't catch it. It's going to come around, and he smacks that inside wall. And hard lick for him. And Dunbar went by as Crisatianto was trying to get that thing back out on the track. We'll take a look here as Will Dunbar goes by. Crisatianto now trying to straighten that thing back up and goes back into the other side wall, outside wall. So Crisatianto now going to have to come down and get some service done to that machine. As our race leader is Alexander Zakharov. 48 minutes left to go. Long time, man. It seems like we've been racing for an hour already. Look at this. Racing like it's the last lap right now. Look at this. Three-way battle here as John Stanley, Preston Hassel, and now Gordon Carter getting that spot back from John Stanley. That's going to make the staple gun mad. John Stanley giving back that spot. Now back to P14 as Gordon Carter back up to the 13th position. And he's closing in on Preston Hassel, so Gordon Carter starting to find his groove here. With 48 minutes left to go, so 12 minutes into this race. And right now, Gordon Carter in the Corvette starting to close in on Preston Hassel. So good pass there. Good clean pass between those two guys, too. Take a look at that replay. That pass as Carter went down to the inside right here, and John Stanley on the outside. And he's able to take over that spot. He's going to have the right-hander coming up here to give them preferred line. So good clean pass by the Corvette on the Aston Martin. Zakharov is the leader, getting about a 3-second lead over Bezrikov. Vieira is in third, and Abdurrahman fourth. So a couple Corvettes there running P4, P4. Believing in the Ferrari is in the 5th position. Ritsky Novar in the 97 car, running in the Porsche. One of our 2 Porsches on the track here tonight. Ritsky Novar right now running in the 6th position. Second Porsche is Will Dunbar running in P10. Behind him is Gerasimov. Now Gerasimov in the Ferrari. At 1.7 seconds back to the 6th place car of Ritsky Novar. You see Mata just behind Gerasimov. Less than a second separate the 2 of those guys. Mata in the Aston Martin. Gerasimov in the Ferrari. We'll take a look at Mata in this Aston Martin. Starting to close in now 0.7 of a second up to the Ferrari of Nikolai Gerasimov. Gerasimov, remember, might have some front end damage, so remember that contact between he and Chris Atianto earlier in the race. And Gerasimov might have a little bit of a handling problem. As I'm sure there's damage to the front of that car. Gordon Carter here starting to make some moves. Gordon Carter in the Corvette to the inside of Preston Hassel. Now taking over that spot. So now Gordon Carter finds himself in the 12th position. Getting another spot, getting by the BMW of Preston Hassel. We watch this out of the front of Iqbal Kurdiawan's spot. Kurdiawan running in the 13th position. Trying to close in on Preston Hassel. .9-second lead for Alexander Zakharov. Showing everybody these BMW M6s can really haul the mail. The thing I like about the guys in this series too is, you know, they challenge themselves. They jump in other cars just to see, just to say, hey man, I know this one's a little bit, kind of off the pace compared to some of these other cars, but I'm excited about this. Get in this car and make it work. I'm going to prove to you that I can drive this car. And Zakharov is one of those guys that does that quite often. You never know what from one season to the next what he's actually going to be running. John Stanley in the Aston Martin. Now getting by the BMW Preston Hassel and taking over a spot. Preston Hassel falling back to the 15th position as Gordon Carter and now John Stanley have both gotten by. Kurdiawan got by as well. So Preston Hassel giving up a couple, about 3 positions here. As we'll take a look at that pass. Kurdiawan in the Corvette in the 77 car as Preston Hassel goes wide. And also you see that Aston Martin going to get through. That's John Stanley picking up that spot. And Preston Hassel is coming down pit lane to take some service here on with 42 minutes left to go. So maybe some strategy playing out for Preston Hassel. He is on pit lane. And actually looks like he's retired his machine. So Preston Hassel out of the race. Oh my heavens. Rizal Abdurrahman got a good battle here going with Belavin. We'll take a look at Belavin and our side-by-side view, if we can get this to work. Side-by-side view here, looking out of the back of Rizal Abdurrahman's machine. As we are following in that left side screen, Dmitry Belavin, who is just behind. This is P4, P5. Don't forget the Saturday Night Thunder headed your way in just a few hours, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be at Atlanta Motor Speedway in some stock cars. And Atlanta's always a fun one. And, of course, these stock cars are a lot of fun, too. This is the 2018 mod. And racing starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then coming up on Friday, March the 3rd, we'll be back at it at Kansas Motor Speedway. Just 2 races to go in the High Octane Racing League Bushwhacker Series. And Kansas is one of them. Last night had a great race there at Phoenix with the Lord Stopworth Memorial event, the Busted Knuckles 125. These guys got 2 races to go. Kansas is next on the grid for the Bushwhacker Series. And that'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, Alexander Zakharov, I just pulled my earplug out of my ear, my earphone. Trials and tribulations of being a broadcaster, a big famous broadcaster. Alexander Zakharov in the BMW is the leader, in control, although that lead has diminished down to about 2.5 seconds. And Bezhikov on the move in the latter half of this run. Bezhikov also in the BMW. So a couple BMWs here dominating the field right now. P3 is the Corvette of Artur Vieira. One of our stock car aficionados, great Brazilian driver. Known Artur for quite a number of years now. And here he is showing everybody that he can get around this track. Doing some road course racing in the Corvette. Rizal Abdurrahman is running in the 4th position in the Corvette. As you see the Ferrari behind him, and that is Belavin having some trouble. And he's got some got a battle on his hands here as we see Ritsky Novar in the Porsche now side by side with Belavin. Good battle here between the two of these guys. I got a little Ferrari versus Porsche. And the Porsche is going to get by. So Ritsky Novar picking up that spot, getting around the 6th place, now the 6th place car of Dmitry Belavin. So Novar up to P5. And a great battle there. Great clean racing from the two of those guys. And it took him a while to really pull off that pass. You take a look here as Novar in the Porsche. On the inside. And getting by here, the Ferrari of Dmitry Belevin picking up that spot. So now Novar is up to P5. Belevin now back to 6th. Take a look at here, the lone McLaren in the field. Oh no! Last turn, he got on those curves pretty, a lot of bad angle, I should say, getting into the last turn, and the back end came around. And he did not get into anything. That's great news, but we'll take a look at this again. You see he's just carried a little bit too much speed and kind of a bad angle right here. He starts turning on the curbs, and he ends up spinning the car, but great luck there that there's an overrun area for him. Berto Cristianto in the 15 car. Now battling Will Dunbar in the 88. So Cristianto getting by. Will Dunbar now back to the 10th position as Cristianto picks up that spot. So more great racing here late in this run. Look at this. This is Mata and Nikolai Gerasimov. Gerasimov working him over there, it looked like. Those guys had a little bit of a battle. Take a look at this again. Right here, you see the Aston Martin going to the inside and rubbing a little bit on the Ferrari, but not able to pull off that pass. Boy, he leaned on him quite a bit. And there was contact. Take a look at that. Watch this Aston Martin leaning on him a little bit right here. Oh, man. Oh, I tell you what, the Ferrari came over there and gave him a little bit of a nudge, too. A little bit of you kiss me, I'll kiss you back. While Curdy Alwyn, he's had some trouble. Oh, Curdy Alwyn had trouble right there. Got into the fence, front end damage, and Audi Sethi has lost his connection or something. He's out of the race as well. So look at this, the McLaren coming down and onto the pits and retiring his machine. Will Dunbar indicating he's going to be making a pit this lap. So Will Dunbar is coming down pit lane this lap in the Porsche. Really looks like unless people are going to pit just in front of him, he's going to be the first car, I think, to come down pit lane. And who is still in the race. We now have Adi Sethi and Preston Hassel also out of the race. Looks like Dmitry Belevin is on pit lane. So Dmitry in the Ferrari on pit lane as Will Dunbar bringing his car down pit lane this lap. As you see Dmitry on pit lane, Will Dunbar now peeling off the track to come down pit lane. So Will Dunbar in the Porsche Extra Life sponsor machine on to pit lane as Dmitry Belevin on pit lane as well. And you see the Ferrari of Dmitry leaving the track or leaving pit lane. Coming back out on track. As Will Dunbar is on pit lane. And an Extra Life machine, and Zakharov is the leader. So we're going to start seeing some guys come down pit lane, I believe, and taking service at that mandatory pit stop. As Will Dunbar finishing up his pit stop. So with 32 and a half minutes left to go, Will Dunbar finishing up his pit stop and should be good to go the rest of the way. So Zakharov in control in the BMW, starting to roll up on some lap traffic. Might see some lights flashing here pretty soon, so he sees these guys ahead of him that are racing for position. And he might start flashing these lights. Zakharov wanting to get around the lap cars. Gordon Carter and Iqbal Kurdiawan. It's fair game. These guys are actually battling with each other as well. But there you go. Some lights flashing from the BMW. Time to go, boys. So lights flashing from the Beamer. He wants to get around. Look at this. He is on fire right now. He is so mad. He's wanting to make that pass on the Corvette, and he gets around, but he had to work for it. Iqbal Kurdiawan in his defense, hard to find a place to get over. And Gordon Carter indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane, so he's off the pace just a little bit, and that is going to allow the leader of Alexander Zakharov to get by. So some drama unfolding there as we have guys starting to make pit stops here. Chris Atiato is on pit lane. We take a look at Iqbal Kurdiawan. So Chris Atiato in the Corvette is on pit lane as we take a look at Iqbal Kurdiawan and Gordon Carter in a great battle here. Busy pit lane now. Look at Gordon Carter's come down pit lane as well as Bezrikov. Bezrikov on pit lane in the BMW. Chris Atiato, Gordon Carter. So a couple Corvettes and a BMW as you see Chris Atiato coming back out on track in the 15 car. Zakharov is our leader in the BMW, and he has not made a pit stop yet. Got an 11-second lead over the second place car of Artur Vieira. Vieira having a good night here, though, in the Corvette. Started in P2. But has since bounced back here as pit stops are starting to shake out. Zakharov has come down pit lane. So Alexander Zakharov is coming down pit lane, or should say. Bezrikov in the BMW on pit lane as well. Take a look at this. Berto Crisatianto and Will Dunbar battling. Will Dunbar giving him a lot of room there as Crisatianto makes that pass. in the Corvette. So good battling there between Will Dunbar and Berto Crisatianto. Crisatianto coming off pits with fresh tires. And it looks like our race leader had given up the race lead to Bezrikov. Zakharov has finished up his pit stop, now back out on track in the BMW. He's in the second position, as Bezrikov is our leader. Gerasimov is on pit lane as well. We'll kind of watch that time there, 3.5 seconds between Zakharov and Bezrikov. Just a little over 26 minutes left to go, and pit stops almost finished, I believe. We have Iqbal Kurniawan on pit lane. John Stanley on pit lane. That battle there about 3.5 seconds, so pretty even battle, although Zakharov does seem to be maybe cutting into that a little bit. Take a look at Ritsky Novar in the 97 car. Just behind him is Rizal Abdurrahman. This is the good battle here on the track. Just a half a second separate the two of these guys. Novar in the Porsche, and Abdurrahman in the Corvette. In tow, running in P5. Georgi Arutunian in the Ferrari, picking up a spot there as John Stanley on pit lane. So Arutunian now up to the 13th position. John Stanley back to P14 with the pit stop. See John Stanley there in the Aston Martin on pit lane, as Bezrikov is our leader, 3.5 second lead over Zakharov. Two cars out of the race, Adi Sathya and Preston Hassel, both out of the race. Let's take a look at Gordon Carter, running in P12. In the high place moving sponsored Corvette. He's trying to close back in on Kurniawan. Just about 1.5 seconds separate the two Corvettes. Kurniawan in the 77 car, just ahead. See Will Dunbar in the Porsche. He is on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap. A good top 10 run here for Will. Had a lot of time to practice, I think, this week for him. Been a busy person. But here he is out mixing it up in the the Porsche. John Stanley getting a spot back there from Georgi Arutunian. Arutunian, I believe, is on pit lane. Or was on pit lane. If he is, he's hiding. There he goes. He's finishing up his pit stop. As John Stanley making that pass. So R2 now back to the 14th position. That Alexander Zakharov not really been able to chip into that lead of Bezrikov. Zakharov sort of dominated that first run, but Bezrikov has gotten out ahead of him and not really given away any time. 3.5 seconds separate P1, P2, a couple of BMWs. Talk too much about Dmitry Belevin here in the 93 car, the Ferrari. He is running in the 8th position. Now Dmitry is about 12 seconds off of P7. About 21 seconds ahead of P9. So pretty comfortable here and just make some laps, get some good times in, and maybe slowly chip away at Gerasimov. Gerasimov also in the Ferrari. Look at that. Gerasimov going to give him a little bit of help there. He looks like he's hanging it out on the edge right now. That car was sideways coming around the final turn. So he's pushing the envelope here as he's got some work to do. 9.4 second gap between he and Mata. But he is closing in on Mata. Now down to 9.1, 9.2. So hard to say, to be honest with you, given where they are on the track. But Mata in the Aston Martin went to close in on Rizal Abdurrahman. Gordon Carter just in front, who is a lap car. We're board here with Mata Indica. And he wants to catch up to Rizal Abdurrahman, who is just about 2 seconds ahead. But sandwiched in between is the lap car of Gordon Carter in the 12th position. So Mata might start flashing those lights. Let him know, hey man, I got to go. It is go time here. 20 minutes left to go. They're drag racing here into the turn. Two hard right-handers. And it looks like Mata ends up pulling off that pass, but he had to work for it. And that slowed him up. 4.2 seconds now, separating he and Abdurrahman. Gerasimov in the Ferrari, one of our better GT3 drivers for sure. And he is running in the 7th position in the 72 car. An 11, almost 12 second gap between he and Mata. See Iqbal Kurdiawan at his 77 here. A lot of Corvettes out here today. Got a couple Aston Martins. Quite a number of Corvettes, of Ferraris, and BMWs. Where's the Bentley? Nobody racing the Bentley anymore. I really feel like the bop wasn't good for the Bentley. Certainly ebbs and flows, I think, the way that Studio 397 has handled the balance of performance. Sort of ebbs and flows on which car rises to the top. And Kurdiawan right now in the Corvette running in P11. Seems like these BMWs are pretty good, though. And added to that is the guy in the driver's seat. And that's Nikolai Bezrikov. Followed closely at 2.5 seconds back is Alexander Zakharov, also in a BMW. Bezrikov starting to roll up on some lap traffic. A couple lap cars in front. You might see those lights flashing again. So on board here with the Bezrikov, as you see the two lap cars, Aratunian and John Stanley just ahead. Actually looks like that's Will Dunbar in the 88 car. That thing is flat out wrecking around that turn. Dunbar getting over to the right and allowing that BMW. Of course, the Ferrari also got over. Now Bezrikov wanting to get around this Porsche. And he also wants to try to hold on to his spot as well. He wants to try to stay on the lead lap, but doesn't look like he's going to do it, as he's given quite a bit of room to Bezrikov. And Bezrikov now going to hit this right-hander at the right angle. As Will's on the inside and now has to battle the Ferrari. Got to also Zakharov, who is on the lead lap, try to get around these guys as well. So you see these two guys battling on the track. They're not battling for position. That's P10, P14. But behind him, oh no, right there, contact. Contact. Will Dunbar's got some damage, I think, to the right side of that car. And there was contact getting into the turn. And we see that action there getting into the turn. Watch this again as Will Dunbar, so right here, just misses that. I think he had a little bit of a braking issue getting in. And then right there, the BMW, Alexander Zakharov, can't miss it. And he was in P2. Still is in P2, but watch this, out of the front of Zakharov's machine. Worst nightmare. Oh, man, and a hard lick there for Zakharov. Zakharov just could not miss it. And Will Dunbar getting back out on track. That got crazy right there. Go to the back of Aratunian's machine. There was contact with him. And then right there behind. See, getting into the turn, these guys are going to make contact right there. Will Dunbar gets sideways, and Zakharov has nowhere to go, and makes contact. Well, Bezrikov says, I don't want anything like that happening to me. Is now 4.5 second lead over Zakharov. So Zakharov lost about 2 seconds with that little incident. And he's going to have some front end damage too. So Zakharov, you know, has front end damage on that BMW. And it's those little things like that that really can change the balance of your car. It wasn't super hard contact, but it can definitely change the balance of your car. The way that handles. And you see the lights of frustration right there from Zakharov. 4.2 second gap now between he and Bezrikov. How about this, man? This run for Artur Vieta, running in the third position. Started in P2. Held that for a little while, but Zakharov got back by. Now, with the trouble that Zakharov has had, you're looking at about 16-second gap. Does he have enough time? You know, if there's some more trouble that Zakharov has, or if he has to come down pit lane, then Vieta might be able to pick up that second position again. But what a run here for Artur Vieta in the 91 Corvette. Running in the third spot. Gordon Carter, a little bit of a wave by there for the Ferrari. So Gordon Carter letting the Ferrari go by. You're on board with Gordon Carter. John Stanley in the Aston Martin, running in P13. He is one lap down. He wants to close back in on Gordon Carter. As you see Bezrikov getting by and now putting John down 2 laps. John giving him a lot of room. On board here with John Stanley as we take a look at our leader, Nikolai Bezrikov. Take a look at Will Dunbar here in the 88 car. See how that damage has affected him. Get a little bit of a smudge there on the 88. Maybe a little bit of a damage on that right side number. See a little smudge down there maybe on the 88. Yeah, I'm seeing a little damage, maybe a little scrape on the 88. So definitely got some damage on the right side of that car. You can see the scrapes. And, oh, maybe he thought I was talking about him. He might have thought I was talking about him, and he ends up spinning there. Doesn't come all the way around, but loses the back end of that car. This thing is absolutely wicked loose. Wicked loose as Dunbar now giving up a spot. He did not come all the way around. He did a great job of holding on to it. My heavens, man, that Porsche wrecking loose here as we look out of the front of his car, and here he is trying to hold on to this thing, and then he almost spins out again. Right here, he was counter steering, turning all the way to the left, keep that thing from coming around. We'll take a look here, another view of this. Is right here, just a lot of speed, loses the balance of the car, the thing comes around on him. Kearney Alwyn gets by. And maybe that right side damage. You see, watch this. He's going to work the wheel here as he comes around the turn, and this thing's wanting to come around again. Wow, right there. Kearney Alwyn had gotten by in that 77 car. Watch this, Kearney Alwyn in the 77 getting by as Will Dunbar trying to fight this. Watch this. Had to be scary for him right there as Will Dunbar comes sliding by. And Kearney Alwyn picking up that spot. Credit to Will Dunbar for actually hanging on to that thing because he has got a handful right now. He has got a handful. He's just trying to maybe limp it home at this point, knowing that he's got that damage on the right side. Got a pretty comfortable spot where he's at, though. Gordon Carter about 27 seconds back behind Dunbar, so Will might be in a pretty good position to hold on to that spot, but he is running in P11. Take a look at Zakharov here in the BMW. He's running in the second position, but he's 5.3 seconds back. Remember, that was 2.5 seconds. And then he got into the side of Will Dunbar and dropped back to about 4.5 seconds. And that gap has grown to 5 seconds with 8.5 minutes left to go. Georgi Abertun in the Ferrari and John Stanley in the Aston Martin. This battle is for position as Abertunian gets by, picking up the 13th spot. John Stanley back to P14. So here with about 8 minutes left to go, Abertunian picking up P13. Dmitry Belevin here in the Ferrari, number 93 car. Right now running in the 8th position, so a good top 10 run here for Dimitri. So, well, you see they're using all the track there as Dimitri in the Ferrari, and a pretty good run here. He's got about 6-second gap between he and the 7th place car, so a little bit of work to do. About 6-second gap, and running out of time here with just under 7 minutes left to go. If you're going to make some moves, you know what you can hope for here is you get somebody up ahead who has a little bit of a handling problem, and that would be Gerasimov for the 7th position. And we've seen that Ferrari. You see that guy get a little bit sideways there, so Gerasimov is a little squirrely. So if he has some trouble, then Dimitri might be able to capitalize. So he's 6 seconds back. Gerasimov, he is 13.8 seconds back to Mata in the 7th position. Mata's had a pretty good night here in P7. Or P6, take that back. So Mata in the Aston Martin. And Dimitri might have had some trouble. Take a look here. Dimitri Belevin gets off track right there. Oh, man, just got on those curbs and way too much speed here. Has a lot of overrun area, but that's going to cost him some time. The good news is that he does not get into anything. Man, that thing was, I don't know what happened there. He must have forgot to take his, he gets into the grass, so there's no grip there. So he misses his braking point, and now it's just on for a ride. So that's what it was. I think he, all around, just missed his braking point. Watch this. This just starts out bad. Way off track right there, trying to get this thing straightened back up, misses his braking point, and gets in the grass to brake. That's not going to work. That's ice. And does a great job, and that's why they have that overrun area there to keep you from boogering up your car. So, man, he was working the wheel on this one. Watch this. Watch this wheel. Tried to keep that thing from coming around. I guess that wasn't too bad. Once you get it in the grass, there's really nothing you can do but ride it out. You're just a passenger at that point. Take a look at Berto Cristianto, another one of those psychopath e-racing drivers. He had the Corvette running in the 9th position, the 15th. You're in the 15 car. And there was contact earlier in the race. Remember, right at the start of the race, there was some shenanigans in the 15. And I believe it was Gerasimov, those two guys had gotten together. So right now, Cristianto is 15 seconds back to Belevin. Iqbal Kurniawan, another one of the Corvette drivers, and the Psychopath E-Racing crew, the 77 car, running in the 10th position. A lot of guys electing to go to the Corvette. Except for those two BMW drivers up front. And we've got just under 4 minutes left to go. And Bezrikov looks like he is in control. Zakharov 5.2 seconds back, so has not cut into that lead. Georgiar Rotunian in the Ferrari, running in the 13th position, 2 laps down. He's the first car 2 laps down. He and John Stanley both 2 laps down. John Stanley about 13 seconds down to The 14th place car, up on the, down to the 13th place car, Georgi Aratunian. Right now, it's all Nikolai Bezrikov. 5-second lead for him with 2.5 minutes left to go. I mean, something catastrophic has to happen at this point. And I see a pretty clear track ahead, so got to like his chances for holding on to this. 5-second comfort zone. As Zakharov running in the second position. Vieira is third. Novar fourth. Rizal Abdurrahman is in fifth. Everybody sort of spread out now on the track. Not a lot of passing going on. Pretty good gap between everybody. Closest battle, I believe, is the one we're watching here, and that's Bezrikov and Zakharov. Five-second gap, 5.5-second gap. So Bezrikov looking to make it 2 in a row here in the High Octane Racing League GT3 series. Of course, next week they'll be off, and the Saturday Showdown series will be in action. So we take a look at the Saturday Showdown series advertisement. That's coming up next week. We'll be at Bristol Motor Speedway, race number 2 of the season in this time slot. And then the following week, we'll be back at it with the GT3 series. So Bristol's going to be a fun one, 200 laps. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. We haven't had one more lap in us, maybe. We'll see how fast he gets this BMW around. It's down 4.4 seconds. He has slowed down here a little bit because I think he wants to maybe make it this the last lap. But he can't do that too much of that. Zakharov wants the other side of the story. He wants to go another lap. I think that's going to do it here. So it looks like Bezrikov is going to take home the victory here at Red Bull Ring. 4.5 seconds, so he definitely backed off here as we look at the 2 final turns. And Nikolai Bezrikov in the BMW is going to take home the victory here at Red Bull Ring. In convincing fashion, of course. He's going to run it right into the wall and allow me not to get a screenshot, for God's sakes. What in the world is you guys thinking? So Bezrikov getting the big win. So the 33 car of Nikolai Bezrikov taking the win here at Red Bull Ring. So good job there to Nikolai. And there he goes. Hopefully it was nice knowing him. Rest in peace, Nikolai. So a good win there for him. Had to work for it a little bit at the beginning of the race, but did what he needed to be able to come away with the race victory. And And that's 2 in a row for Bezrikov. Let's take a look at the final results. Let's take a look at the final results here. Nikolai Bezrikov gets the win. Alexander Zakharov finishes in the second position. Finishing in third is Artur Vieta in the Corvette. Ritsky Novar in that Ferrari finishes fourth. Rizo Abdurrahman finishes in P5. Mata Indika qualifies in the sixth position. Nikolai Gerasimov finishes seventh. Berto Cristatiato finishes eighth. Dmitry Belevin finishes ninth. And Iqbal Kurdiawan finishes in P10. Finishing in the 11th position is Will Dunbar in the 88 car. Gordon Carter finishes 12th. Georgi Aratunian finishes 13th. John Stanley 14th. Adi Sathya finishes in 15th. And Preston Hassel finishes in P16. So Nikolai Bezrikov with the win here in the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series at Red Bull Ring. Congratulations to him. Great run. I want to say thank you so much for watching the race here today or on replay on TurnLeftTV. Appreciate your support. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to hit the bell, and you'll get updates when races are going live. Thanks to all those folks who have subscribed and people who come out and watch the races. If you haven't subscribed and you're watching the races here, please hit that subscribe button. Help me get up to that 1,000 mark. And thanks again for all those folks who have. Share my videos with all your friends. Invite them to come out to TurnLeftTV. And please click on the links down in the description of this race. They have one over to the Children's Extra Life Children's Miracle Network Hospitals charity, if you'd like to make a donation to them. Also, I have a link to my PayPal if you want to make a donation to me here at TurnLeftTV. And then also got the Sim Labs website. If you'd like to head on over there, I have a Sim Lab rig as well, and that's a Evo 1. Love it. And really can't say enough about how I do my broadcasting. I do my racing, of course, from the Sim Lab Evo 1 sim rig. And I'm an affiliate through them, so click on that link if you would. Tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you. No matter where you are in the world, they can provide you with a server in your local area with some great ping times. Well, we'll be at Zandvoort in 2 weeks. A great track there. Fun one, man. March 11th, hitting you in the face. And then big question mark, Interlagos, that's Sao Paulo, coming up on March the 25th. You see Portland and then Daytona to finish out the season. So congratulations to Bezrikov on getting the win here at Red Bull Ring. Just a little while, we'll be out on the track at Atlanta Motor Speedway for a 110-lap race. It's race number 8 of the season. If you'd like to join us, come on out, man. There's the QR code. Also, I've got the Discord address there you could use to join us. Get a little racing in. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight here on TurnLeftTV. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, I am out of here.